President Larry Ivory.
Well, it's not Larry Ivory, but it is LaDonna Raeh on the Wake Up Show Chicago. Larry will be here just shortly, but I'm sitting here with my co host, Mr. MC Pearson, and you are listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago. Be sure to call in at 773-591-1690, or you can go to our YouTube channel. Just search for the Wake Up Show Chicago. Now, I noticed that some of you have been hitting the like button, far few and in between. It's okay, it's free. We won't charge you. This is brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and where membership has its benefits. So if you go to ilbcc.org, you too can be a member. As a member, you're a member too, aren't you, MC Pearson?
Absolutely. I am definitely a member.
But you not just a member, but you're the only union black owned printer in Chicago, I heard.
We are a veteran-owned union print company in Chicagoland. I like to say we're your friendly neighborhood print shop.
Yeah. So before Larry gets here, and with me, I do marketing, but I also contract you to do my printing. I don't hide that. I do subcontract to get my printing done with you. So I thank you for those lower rates that you give me so I can pass those savings on to my customers as well. What kind of kid were you in high school? You weren't expecting that one.
What kind of kid was I in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I was rather eclectic. I played football. I ran track. And I was on the chess team. And my mother had me in, there used to be a women's branch of the NAACP here in Chicago called I think it was called the CNDA.
Mm-hmm.
They did cotillions. So I was a ballroom dancer for 4 years throughout high school.
Do you still have some of those moves?
Oh man, I could dance. I love to dance. If you've ever come to one of the chambers, the business conferences, and then we have the mixers or the networking events afterwards, you will see me on the dance floor.
Well, that's why I was asking if you still had those moves, because I haven't seen those moves. You got that one old man two-step going?
Listen now, I can step, I can salsa. Yeah, I listen. We can get it on. We can get it on. But you know what? You know what? Yeah, we've had over the years that we've been doing the radio show. We've had a lot of great guests and people who've talked about health and things. And so I've absorbed a lot of information. And last year, or was it early this year? Now I don't even remember. It was early this year.
You had that Buddy Love Copon. That's why.
I know, right? And I had torn the meniscus in my left knee, and
that was last year.
So I've been no, I don't remember, but nonetheless, holistic healing. I am back to 100%. I'm walking. So the guests that have been on our shows that have talked about health and medicine and taking care of yourself, I have literally taken that information seriously, and and I'm rocking and rolling today.
Well,
no surgeries, and I had that one surgery, that one hernia surgery. It was the first time I've been cut on in my life. I said I never want to do this again.
Wow.
I tip my hat to women everywhere.
Yeah, okay, because that was probably, you think it was worse than childbirth until you've gone through it.
Oh my goodness.
But anyhow, I want to give a shout out to Glennis Thomas with T&T Janitorial Services. She is our newest member to the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Yes, membership has its benefits, guys. If you go to ilbcc.org and click on membership, you will see the membership information and you'll be able to process through to become a member. And it's an easy process. Fill out a few things and you'll actually sit there and go, wait, I got to get this stuff ready. But see, you have a whole team behind you when you become a member. Now, today we're going to be talking about the trade mission and how going to Zimbabwe has a global business connection when it comes to businesses in Chicago. And just in time, right when we introduce the topic of the show, we have two most important people of this chamber. Number one, Mr. Larry Ivory, the president, founder, CEO, and all of that.
Come on now.
Of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce has just walked in with his son. I'm not gonna minimize that he came in too. Rastafarian.
Hey, we are happy to be here on the Wake Up Show Chicago with my good friends MC and LaDonna Raeh. We have an exciting topic, and I'm really looking forward to really sharing with people our perspective of why we think for African Americans and creating legacy wealth, opportunity exists in Mother Africa. And I'm excited to talk about that, LaDonna.
Yes. It's exciting to talk about because we've been going on about this particular option or mission, I should say,
Come on.
for the past few months. And we hosted the trade mission, or should I say the Zimbabwe delegation, just a few months ago at the Sable Hotel, which is Black owned, by the way, at Navy Pier. So there are so many benefits to being a part of this whole conglomerate of the trade mission when we go to Zimbabwe starting December 1st to the 9th. That's a whole 9 days to get your stuff together internationally.
And you know what? One of the great things about this is the fact that and the fact that the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is leading this. You know, we can talk all day about all of the countries that go into Africa and they extract minerals, they do business, they have commerce going on in Africa. They are taking those resources back to their countries. And there's this facade that you have to be a major conglomerate, you have to be a country, you got to be a Fortune 500, entity in order to do business in Africa. And that's truly a facade. There is so much commerce that the average Black American can do in Zimbabwe that it's a shame that if we don't explore those opportunities. I mean, it's almost as simple as if you living in Chicago, you do business in Chicago. Can you do business in Aurora, Illinois? Can you do business downstate Illinois? And all of that stuff seems plausible to you. Doing business in Zimbabwe, doing trade in Zimbabwe is no more difficult than doing business in downstate Illinois.
And to come on to the trade mission, you can go to our website at ilbcc.org and you'll see the drop down for events and it'll say Zimbabwe. You click on that, have your credit card ready, okay? Because
Absolutely.
we're giving you the information. Now you got to give us the information so that you can be with us not on the bus, on the Airbus. Come on.
On the Airbus. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that. I like that.
Well, it's so important, and I don't want to, I want to really get down to the real basics here. When you take a look at the overall economy and you take a look at economists and people who are looking at where to invest money and where the growth is going to happen, they point out clearly that sub-Saharan Africa is the most phenomenal place for growth and opportunity. And so it's going to be important for us to come back and have a conversation about why Africa and why maybe even Zimbabwe.
All right. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for those commercials. Now, don't tune away because our commercials are actually like infomercials. We got PSAs today. So take a listen. Let us know what you think and call in 773-591-1690. You're listening to The Wake Up Show, Chicago. Hey, it's LaDonna Raeh with the Wake Up Show Chicago. I know that you've heard of AI and are wondering how to use it in your business. If you're ready to increase your productivity without breaking the bank, discover the power of AI. So here are some tips in using AI in your business. As a Black-owned business owner, we know time is precious, and every minute counts when you're building something great. That's where AI can help by saving you time on customer communication and social media planning. Let's start with customer service. Just ask your AI like Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, or ChatGPT this prompt. Create a set of email templates for responding to common customer inquiries for my marketing company. Include responses for order status, updates, service capacity, refund requests, and one-to-one training information. Keep the tone friendly and professional and add a personalized touch for customer loyalty. Done. In seconds, AI will generate ready-to-use responses for all your frequently asked questions, keeping customer interactions consistent and professional. Send. Now, for social media, to stay on top of mind with your community and customers without spending hours every week, just use this prompt. Create a month-long social media content calendar for my marketing business, targeting new business owners. Include Post ideas for promoting services, engaging the community, sharing customer testimonials, and highlighting cultural events or milestones relevant to my audience. Provide hashtags, suggested captions, and call to actions. Now you've got a whole month of engaging on brand content right at your fingertips. All that's left is to schedule a post. Spend less time on busy work and more time building your vision. Get to working on your AI today. It's time saving, simplified support for the businesses you are building. Well, that's all I got. I'm LaDonna Raeh, your AI expert on the Wake Up Show Chicago each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time. See you next week. If you missed the Getting Down to Business 19th Annual Business Convention brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, well, here's your chance to pre-register for next year's 20th Anniversary Business Convention happening at the luxurious Wind Creek Casino in Homewood, Illinois, the summer of 2025. This is your chance to be a part of an unforgettable experience where industry leaders come together to connect, learn, and grow. Whether you're looking to expand your network, gain valuable insights, or showcase your business, this is the event of the year. And here's the best part. Pre-register now for just $50 at ilbcc.org, and the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce will match your $50 towards your full registration. But hurry. This offer is only available for a limited time. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. Secure your spot today and let's make the 20th Anniversary Business Convention the best one yet. Visit ilbcc.org to pre-register now and double your investment in your future. See you at the Wind Creek Casino, summer of 2025. Brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
Being a part of the chamber, being at these opportunities to present, but at the same time, you have to be willing to do the work so you can be ready for the opportunity because they are there. They are, as I love to say, cutting checks, but they're not going to cut you a check if you're not ready.
Yeah, and Ron, what I would say, if you're a very small business and you're struggling, we want to make sure that people understand is that doing business international requires a degree of business savvy and understanding. And we wouldn't want people to think that it is that easy, but it is easy. But you got to really be prepared. And the chamber job is to get you prepared so that you understand. So when we go on this trade mission coming up in December the 1st to the 9th, we're going to get you prepared. We're going to have meetings ahead of time in IT, technology, infrastructure, healthcare, all the major industries.
And we are back on the Wake Up Show Chicago. Be sure to call in at 773-591-1690. You have myself, Larry Ivory, and MC Pearson today. Buddy Love is out. Is he doing his Copan tour?
He's doing his Copan.
All right.
Shout out to Buddy Love.
Shout out to Buddy Love. And watch this. We are sponsored by Wind Creek Casino Southland. They just had their grand opening last week. We went and had a really good time. They welcome you. The customer service is great. The food is even better. And this Friday is Black Friday coming up. All right. So I know you guys are running out. How many more TVs do you need? I don't know. But we have a Black Friday sale that's going on when you pre-register for the convention, the 20th year business convention next year at Wind Creek in the summer months. Okay, so if you go onto our website, go to events, you'll see 20th year anniversary convention. If you put down your down payment of $50, okay, $50, we will match it as a chamber. When I say we, I mean ILBCC will match it through Cyber Monday, which is the Monday after Black Friday. So if you didn't get what I just said, just play it back on the YouTube video and you'll be able to play it over and over again, especially when you subscribe.
Hey, LaDonna, one of the things in MC that, we talked about, and we've been talking about Zimbabwe. I want to take a moment and just really make sure that we get down to the whole mission in terms of what we have, because, one of the things coming from the investment banking business, we were always looking at where's the next opportunity. And what we found in the stock market is that America was not the only economy. America represents 5% of the world's economy. And so there's 95% that we're not really engaged in. But when you break that down and say, where's the great opportunities? Because everyone's looking for an opportunity. And the opportunity is where you think that you have the best chance to make money. And when you take a look, MC and LaDonna, into our listening audience, uh, Africa is a place where it is a tremendous amount of opportunity. Now, I want to understand that there are some challenges also that exist. But when you take a look at the overall opportunities in the breadbasket of the world is Africa, more natural resources, more opportunities for growth and opportunities. And that's why we are exploring the opportunity to do business in Mother Africa. And the other side is that it's probably the only place that we have a competitive advantage in the marketplace, because every place else, when you're black in America, you don't always feel like everyone's welcoming you to the opportunity. In Africa, I think it is different, and especially in Zimbabwe. So we want to go where we're celebrated, not tolerated. And so in Zimbabwe, we're celebrated. In other parts of Africa, we're celebrated. And we have to position ourselves, quite frankly, to participate in the economy. And there's no different than if you take a look at America where it was many years ago. And if you had invested in America in real estate and you see where it's at now, you had a lot more money by making the appropriate investment. Africa is in that vein. It has tremendous upside opportunity, and we need to exploit those opportunities. So I'm going to pass it back to MC. And MC, what do you think about that?
You know what? The opportunity is huge, exactly like you said, and I think that many times we don't know how to articulate just how huge that opportunity is. And so, like for instance, um, you may want to hire a graphic designer. Let's just say, you might pay, you know what? I can talk about myself. So let's just say I want to hire a graphic designer in Zimbabwe. So the cost of a graphic designer in the States is versus outsourcing it to or hiring somebody in Zimbabwe. The difference between the US dollar and the zinc, you know, well, I talked to a guy who said he had 8 employees that cost him $1,300 a month in US dollars, but in the zinc, that's a full year's salary. He's paying them. That would be the equivalent to about 60 grand a year over in the States. So when we talk about the opportunities, let's say if you own an architectural design firm and you hired a couple of architects in Zimbabwe, your cost of savings, because we have the internet superhighway now. So to send a job over there to be done and then brought back over, and then emailed back over here or Dropbox back over here, you know, how much money does that put to your bottom line? How much money do you save if you can't find the employees here? So it's the idea that because of the dollar difference, and that's what a lot of other countries take advantage of as well, you're able to not only gainfully employ our brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe, but you're also to add more, able to add more money to your bottom line. The opportunity is huge, and if you can add more money to your bottom line, how much more can you impact your local community here in Illinois or in whatever state that you're in? It's a win-win situation, and I think that we need to do a better job at articulating exactly what that advantage is and why the advantage is there, because I think that opens up our eyes as entrepreneurs here in the States, as to what we can do. And it's just that other countries, they're already doing this.
Absolutely.
They're ahead of us. I mean, when I say us, I don't mean the US. I mean, they're ahead of us black entrepreneurs in that they're doing business in Zimbabwe, where we're from. Because if you've done a 23andMe, you have found that there is a country in Africa that your ancestry dates back to.
Or ancestor.com. I'm just saying.
Or
Or
ancestry.com. Right.
ancestry.com. Yeah.
And they are not sponsors of this show, but
That's
if
correct.
they're
That's true.
interested, give us a call.
Mhm. But and I know some people might be thinking when they hear hire in Zimbabwe that we have a job shortage here in the States, but don't think of it that way. You should think of it as you are able to extend yourself by duplicating yourself, by hiring people that can do what you do. So, as a graphic designer, you said, or as a social media person, or whatever the case may be, they become an extension of your appendages. Now, there are some fun facts that I'd like to share with the audience. Zimbabwe, according to World Bank, Zimbabwe's economy is projected to grow by 4% in 2024, driven by mining, agriculture, and infrastructure investments. Also, according to Statista, Zimbabwe has a population of nearly 15 million, with over 60% under the age of 25, offering a young and dynamic workforce for businesses. And a final fun fact, according to African Mining Market, Zimbabwe is home to 13% of the world's gold reserves and is the world's third largest producer of platinum group metals.
You know what? Shame on me, because Larry called me before I got it on my screen. Here's your numbers. A graphic designer over there, a monthly wage is 143,000 zincs. That translates to $444 a month in US. Our architect is 272,000 zincs, which is $845 a month. Advertising account exec over there, they make 230,000 zincs, and it would cost you $714 a month. So when we talk about the opportunity to outsource, to hire people that are in Zimbabwe, these are pennies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These are
Well,
pennies.
the other
But
side, guys,
but it matches their living wages, though.
Yes, it does.
yeah. But the other side of this is that we can't miss the point that, many years ago, the average income for American was substantially lower. It has grown because the economy has grown. And so we have to understand this is not just the ability to hire people from Zimbabwe to come and give us a competitive advantage in the United States. It's also understanding that this is an economy that's growing. And if you invest in that economy, just like you invest in real estate and anything else,
Stocks.
it's growing. It's where you want to be. And when you think about our challenge, like I said, it's 80% of our problem is tied to some degree of economics at some level.
Exactly.
Okay. And when you think about where we invest our money, and they say that poor people think about how they pay their bills. Medium income people think about their credit score and how they can buy more stuff. Wealthy people think about how to make more money and get the money making more money. And like you might say, get your money to get pregnant and get pregnant again and again and again. When you got money and you got any disposable income, you want to invest that money where you can get the biggest rate of return that you can possibly get. And that's important.
All right. Well, you know what that sound means. It's time for us to go to our commercial break. And when we come back, we have a caller. Samira, we see you. Don't go anywhere.
When we take a look at lower education, when you talk about high schools and primary schools, where you could have a significant black student enrollment. But the fact of the matter is, when you take a look at their spend and how much of that money has gone to black contractors, black plumbers, black heating and air conditioning companies, you're going to find that those numbers are pretty poor. And so it makes sense for us to take a look at how we improve those numbers, whether it be at the university, junior college level, or high school and primary school. We have to do a much better job where our students, when they get the funding based upon the students that are there, that we get a chance to participate, because there's a direct correlation between crime and the lack of economics.
Have you ever thought about taking your business beyond borders? Join the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce for the Zimbabwe Trade Mission, happening December 1st through 9th. This is your chance to connect with international leaders, explore business opportunities, and secure your seat at the table in one of the fastest growing markets. Don't miss the transformative experience where Black entrepreneurs build global networks and create lasting impact. Visit ilbcc.org, click on events, and register now to be part of this historic mission. Space is limited, so act fast. Have those credit cards ready. Zimbabwe is waiting. Will you answer the call? This message was brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
And we are back as promised on the Wake Up Show Chicago. Don't forget to hit those lines 773-591-1690 like Samara Morris did. Hi, Samara. Good morning.
Good morning, LaDonna. How are you?
Wait
Oh,
a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. How does it go?
Aww.
Who's that on the
Happy
birthday line?
It's Mara.
And Mara, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm Sagittarius.
And is today your birthday?
Yes, it is. For sure it is.
And how old are you on this day?
A lady never tells.
Go Mara, it's your birthday.
Go Mara, it's your birthday. All right.
Now we only did that because you are Larry Ivory's executive assistant, but you so special.
We love you.
Never mind that guy Larry Ivory. You are so awesome. How you doing on this morning, Miss Mara?
I'm absolutely phenomenal. So much better now that you guys have granted. You guys don't know. That was one of my biggest birthday wishes that I never got. I grew up.
Well, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, Mara, you called in, and as you know, we're headed to Zimbabwe. Give us your thoughts or anything that you're thinking about as it relates to Zimbabwe.
As it relates to Zimbabwe, this was working for the chamber was my first experience. Even learning that there were opportunities for Black businesses to do business and reconnect with Mother Africa. So from where I'm standing, I'm just excited to be learning everything that I am so far, and just excited to be attached with such an amazing organization. And to see what's to come. I'm really excited about this journey that we're going on.
Absolutely, Mary. So let me just say this too, is to the fact that a number of us are going, some aren't going. They're going to come on the next trip, and we're surely excited about the rest of the team flying over to Zimbabwe. But really, this is really about how we create wealth and create legacy wealth. And we have to explore every opportunity we have to create wealth. And we believe that in sub-Saharan Africa, and especially Zimbabwe, that there's an opportunity for us to penetrate a market and to make money and to bring that money and resources back home to our families. There are people there making lots of money. The Chinese are there, the India is there. Everybody's there doing well, but us in some cases. And this is an opportunity for us to really connect to Mother Africa, to do good and do well. And that's really what I'm really most excited about, is that we understand that we have a tremendous economic need, and the environment is changing. In this current new administration coming in, no one really knows how good or how bad it's going to be. And some would say pretty bad, because affirmative action and other issues are surfacing. And some says, well, that may be more friendly towards business. We really don't know with any certainty how bad it will be, but we do know for certain is that we have to begin to look at ourselves from a global perspective and understand that our assets can't be just in one stock like America. It needs to be a diversified portfolio of investments all around the world. And Africa is one of the greatest growth opportunities on planet Earth. It has more natural resources. It has a young population willing to work. And one of the things LaDonna didn't mention was the fact that the literacy rate in Zimbabwe is 97% literacy rate, which means that they can speak English, that they gone to school, and that gives you a tremendous workforce that you can work from, whether
Well,
it
they
be IT, technology, you name it, they got it.
well, they typically speak more than one language.
Yeah,
You
well,
know, they most of them, most of our brothers and sisters there speak at least three languages, and there are various different dialects over there as well within each country. You know, but to go exactly to what you were saying, Larry, the opportunities are in agriculture, they're in mining, mineral processing, they're in renewable energy. There's opportunity in tourism, a lot of opportunity in IT. Oh my goodness. And then there's a lot of there's manufacturing, industrial development, financial services, transportation and logistics. And so, you know, the gambit is open of opportunities. So, you know, you may not see yourself doing business in the country because of whatever specific business that you're in, but I guarantee you that there's probably an opportunity in your specific field and or growth in other areas. I'm specifically interested in mining over in Zimbabwe. I know we were speaking to one of our other sisters at our last networking event who said they were interested in renewable energy, solar panels there because Zimbabwe has rolling blackouts. I think at this point they're down to 2 rolling blackouts a day or something like that. So
yeah.
she's interested in having a solar business over in Zimbabwe. So there are a number of industries, you know, but it's like you said, Larry, you know, you got to go so that you can find out, so you can see what the opportunities are.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing because even when you think about the enormous demand for housing in Zimbabwe, for the college students, there's enormous demand for building apartment units. And this is an opportunity for general contractors, architects, engineers. They got infrastructure that they still need to build. You know, it has Victoria Falls, you know, great, one of the seven wonders of the world. So we really want to bring to people this incredible destination, not only to connect with your roots, but also to connect with the opportunities. And what I really want people to understand is that when you take a look at America today, America wasn't that way 80, 90 years ago. Everything that America wants and is doing in order to be a global economic force, other countries are trying to do the same thing. So there's a lot of opportunity for AI, for marketing, because Zimbabwe is trying to attract more people to come to Zimbabwe to do business. It's in their best interest to attract African Americans. So they need people from marketing that can tell the story. They don't need just all white marketing firms. They need black marketing firms who can reach the black community and tell their story about the economic opportunity, not just the wonderful wildlife that's there and the beautiful Victoria Falls, but all of the economic opportunity. And I just want you to think about the fact if you had the ability to go back in time and you were able to pick the investments knowing where America was going to be, how much money would you have made because you understood what was going to happen? In Africa, the same thing is going to be true. The cost of building a house is going to be the cost of a three-bedroom home is $40,000. Now, if you had to build a three-bedroom home in Chicago, how much would it cost you?
Ooh, you're gonna start at least at 300.
300. And here's the beauty, guys. It will change for them also. And you got to be a part of the growth. You know, at the bottom level, you got to be engaged in owning real estate, owning investments and opportunities in that country as it continues to grow and build its own economy. And as the income of people go up and they have more disposable income and they invest more, you're going to participate in that growth in the stock market, in the investment opportunity. And that's what we're talking about. This is how you create legacy wealth at the end of the day, because it really is about money. At the end of the day, guys, no money, no mission. So
No
we
money,
about
no honey.
yeah.
Okay. But and I know those of you that are listening, you're thinking, okay, yeah, I may want to do business in Zimbabwe, but I don't know anyone in Zimbabwe. How am I going to do business in Zimbabwe? How can I manage that? How can I hire those employees that have the of more affordable wages? Well, there's a program called ZETA. ZETA stands for Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency. They are a group of liaisons that help connect American business or American business with Zimbabwe business. So they will give you the right point person that you need in order to push your mission or your services and needs in Zimbabwe. Now we have another caller. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Miss Marin. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Bye bye
Bye-bye.
for now. All right, we got Rosetta. Is it Rosetta or Rosita?
Rosita.
Rosita. Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Good morning. I am so interested in this. I was just thinking about investment, and I have a huge in-law family in Zimbabwe. So I'm thinking I wanted to do an online school. And so I wanted to know, I know you just gave the name of an organization. Could you tell me that again?
Yes, it's Zida, Zida. That's Zida.
Okay. Okay, because I am interested in reaching out to see, and that would be an organization that I could get information for investing in Zimbabwe.
Well, I would say come to ilbcc.org so we can help to facilitate that conversation.
Okay,
Is
give me that again.
ilbcc.org. And shout out to Professor Caldwell because he has been our liaison from the chamber to Zimbabwe as well. So we will get you that information. Make sure you fill out the contact form on our website, and I'll be
Okay.
looking for your name, Rosita.
Okay, I'm doing it now. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
You know, one of the other things when we think about what the chamber has done, we have positioned ourselves. We're not, we have a competitive advantage in the marketplace in Zimbabwe, and there's a reason for that. We've made all the right moves in terms of making ourselves relevant to the country. It's like anything else, no matter what you're doing, you're trying to be relevant. You're trying to offer something that people need. And we know that Zimbabwe has some debt that they have by the World Bank and by the U.S. and other countries. And that debt can be kind of staggering, and it can slow down the economy. They also have other things like sanctions and other issues that they are working on. We are working and pushing for on Capitol Hill to get Congress to make an investment in a fund that allows African Americans to joint venture with African companies. Now, the Chinese are already doing that. The Chinese government invests money in their companies to go and expand their footprint all around the world because they want to become the economic giant. And the only way they can do that, they realize that their economy has begun to peak. And when it peaks, they have to shift to other places where there's significant growth because China at one time was like Africa where incomes were really low.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what that sound means. It's time for us to go to our final commercial break. 9:15, 9:30, 9:45. And we will see you when we come back, and we'll get right to Betty. Betty, thanks for calling in. We'll get to you as soon as we get back from commercial on the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Are you ready to rise, to grow, to thrive? In Illinois, we got the resources to keep you alive. Join the chamber today and elevate your game. Together we'll succeed. Fuel that business flame. Join the movement, feel a business vibe with ilbcc.org. You'll always strive. Elevate your brand and take your place. The strongest community. We set the pace. Networking's the key. Doors open wide. Workshops and support will be by your side. From contracts to funding, let's make it a win. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is where it begins. Visit ilbcc.org and make that bold start. Together we'll build
Did you know that every
businesses
dollar
with
you
hearts.
spend at a Black-owned business helps strengthen our communities? When you choose to buy Black, you're supporting jobs, creating opportunities, and building generational wealth. From local shops to service providers, your dollars make a difference. Next time you shop, ask yourself, how can I support Black businesses today? Let's keep the economic blood flowing in our neighborhoods and uplift our own. Visit ilbcc.org for a directory of Black-owned businesses near you. The power is in your hands. Buy Black. and build our future together. This message was brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
Financial literacy is the key to unlocking your business's full potential. Understanding cash flow, managing debt, and accessing funding are crucial for growth. But you don't have to figure it out alone. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is here to help. We offer resources, workshops, and mentorship to ensure you have the tools you need to succeed. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, financial knowledge is your most powerful asset. Visit ilbcc.org today to become a member to access our financial literacy programs and resources. Empower your business, empower your future. Brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
And we're back. And as promised, the Wake Up Show is back from commercial break. Make sure if you want to sponsor the Wake Up Show, we got a little bit of room for that. Just give us a call. If you go to our website, ilbcc.org, our phone number is listed right there at the top. And if you want to call in, you can call 773-591-1690. And we're going to get to our caller. We said thank you, Betty, for calling in. Good morning, Betty. Welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Yes, good morning. I was wondering, very curious, does the federal government have anything to do with your Zeta program? Because given who the 47th president is, I really couldn't trust it. So if you can comment on that, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Hold on, don't go so fast.
I think she was asking, does the federal government have anything to do with perhaps helping people to connect to Mother Africa? And I could be wrong.
Does it have anything to do with your Zeta program?
Well, it's not our Zeta program. It is the Zeta program.
Whoever Zeta's program it is, whoever it is, does the federal government have anything to do with it?
That's a very good question. The Zeta is an essential partner for anyone looking to do business. They are not government run. They are a liaison between international trade between the United States and Zimbabwe. Now, I do have some information I can list out to you based on the research that we did, because we had the Zimbabwe clients of ours that came onto the show that talked about Zeta, and how Zeta is there to lend a helping hand to anyone who is interested in doing business in Zimbabwe. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, because you've been there, but their opportunities for delegates, they're participants in the trade mission, and they will have the participants in the trade mission will have access to Zeta representatives who can provide tailored advice on investment opportunities in Zimbabwe. And they are an essential partner for anyone looking to do business in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, and they will be joining us, right? But they're part of our team because anytime you decide you want to grow and expand, you got to have a team. And we have a team of people who are connected to, like the Counselor of Trade and Investment, Jonah, who's our direct contact at the U.S. Embassy in Zimbabwe, who really does a great job of keeping us informed and connecting with the leadership of the country. So if we want to get with the Secretary of Commerce, or we want to get with someone key in energy, it's his job to reach out to them and get the meeting set up. So that partnership allows us a real competitive advantage in the marketplace, because we can fundamentally get to the people who really make the decision, whether it be healthcare, whether it be IT, whether it be construction, energy, the whole gamut, infrastructure, all those things are, there's people who run that, just like we have in the United States, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Commerce. They have all those same things also, but we have direct access to those individuals to connect our businesses to them at the appropriate time, and to make sure they understand what it takes to do business, what some of their challenges are, and how to protect their investment at the same time.
So
well, I was just going to say, if the federal government has their hand in this in any way.
Okay, I see your point. There is some more information.
Given who the 47th president is, it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be, especially for us.
Well, let me help it out a little bit. So first of all, Zeta's website is zeta-global.org. That's zeta-global.org. It's a non-government organization, and they do have strategic partners. They work with various stakeholders, including governments, companies, investors, and individuals, but it is a non-government entity. So there you go.
Now, I want to come back to that. There are two agencies, the ZIDA, Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency. It operates as a government agency in Zimbabwe. So it was established through the Zeta Act, Chapter 1437, as a centralized, and I'm reading this, I don't know this off the top of my head, but as a centralized national level entity under the oversight of the Zimbabwean government. Does that answer your question?
What is two different?
There's two different ones, right?
In a way, I'm just really very skeptical about having anything to do with Black people trying to get ahead, especially with another African company, and the federal government has anything to do with it because they it is their mission to stop Black people from getting ahead.
Well, I think that you need to tap in with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce on a regular basis, because this is what Mr. Larry Ivory, our chairman, does. He is the one that parses out this information and fights for Black businesses in order to gain. This is what we do every Saturday, every time there's a networking event, every time we're doing a podcast, we're doing exactly, we're fighting that fight that you're talking about, right, Larry?
Absolutely. And it's so important. And I definitely appreciate her passion and her skepticism when it comes to dealing with government, because government has proven itself not to be as trustworthy and as helpful as they could be or should be. And so as African Americans, we understand the history, but we can't deny the fact that in Mother Africa, people are making money and we're not.
But especially with this president here that we have coming up.
Absolutely. If ever there's a need for us to begin to think globally, I don't know if there's a better time to do it. And I think the key thing for us is that, and I always go back to this because, every day we get people call about they need some money in order to keep their business going. We get turned down 4 times more likely from an institution, even when we have the same credit. We have significant challenge. We help to build the greatest economy in the world. All those are facts. But regardless of what we say, we have to, like it says, the song, God bless the child that has his own. We got to get our own stuff. We got to create our own economic base so that we can control our own destiny. And everywhere I look, and why I'm so committed to this mission, is that even when it comes to our legal system, we have to get public pretenders instead of having our own attorneys. It makes us vulnerable in the legal system when it comes to accessing capital, when it comes to getting access to buying a home. All those factors, the only way to overcome that is that we have to create wealth. And we got to figure out how to do that in a way that reduces our risk, but also gives us a lot of upside. And what we see coming from the investment background that I've had for close to 26 years is that if we invest smart and we take our time, and I don't want to convey to anyone in this audience, this is just a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. You have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure you're connected to the right people, because there are people who will take advantage of you if you're not careful. We as a chamber becomes that go-to person that protects you and gets you ready to meet with the right people so that those things don't happen, that your investment can be secured as best it can be. So this is really about us, about helping us get to the next level and creating wealth.
And you know what, Larry? I think
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling.
And don't be skeptical, Betty. We gonna make it.
We're gonna make it. You know what? And it takes people like Betty, and it takes people like our listeners out here, and even the people in this room, to make a movement happen, to create change. And I think that's an important segue to talk about. Zimbabwe specifically, the ambassadors, they specifically reached out to the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and to partner to make this thing happen. And, some of the things that they mentioned, some of the things they've talked about, because I've sat in the rooms with them, have been the impact that the chamber has made for Black businesses here in Illinois. The chamber has championed the sheltered market. The chamber has championed opportunities of growth for Black businesses. Has fought with legislators. Has gone into the courthouses. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce has constantly stood up for Black businesses in Illinois in order to give them a fair shake at the procurement contracts that are going on in the state. It's our tax dollars that pay for the construction of the roads and the building of the buildings, and the chamber has constantly fought to make sure that there were Black construction companies, Black marketing companies, Black print companies, Black agricultural companies that get a fair shake at these tax dollars and other opportunities. And they saw just how dedicated the chamber was. They could have reached out to anybody, Larry, but the work that you led with the chamber has stood shoulders ahead of everyone else, and that's a testament to the work that you've done for the Black community, and I applaud you for it.
Well, it is our honor to serve Black business, because we know if we strengthen Black business, we strengthen Black communities, and we strengthen Black people at the same time. So that's important for us. Let me give a shout out to my son who traveled to Chicago for the first time. He's not in the studio. He was in the studio. I was going to have him say hello to everyone, but he's 6'8" and he's single. I'm trying to marry him off right now.
And he's very handsome, if I must say.
Good-looking guy. Shout out to Josh Ivory. I call him Big Larry because he surely ain't little anymore. But guys, to our listening audience, our heart is for our people, and we want to create as much opportunity as we can domestically and internationally. And I want to give much thank you to my team here, LaDonna Raeh, MC, for the great work you guys do in terms of just keeping this conversation alive. And to our audience, let's keep hope alive. Let's keep moving forward, and let's make something happen.
Shout out to Jesse Jackson for that one.
Absolutely.
Well, and guys, don't go away yet. Make sure that you watch us on demand. If you go to our YouTube channel, look for the Wake Up Show Chicago, you can watch those Zimbabwe interviews that we've had right here on the Wake Up Show Chicago. And to break down the walls of skepticism, we must start building our own allies. Come on, y'all. Don't be skeptical. Get on board. Check us out next Saturday. I'm sorry, this is the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Tune in next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be right here on the Wake Up Show Chicago at WVON. And go to ilbcc.org to become a member. Follow us, share, like, comment. We need all of that. See you next time on the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Peace.
Out.